Hey my Teddy peeps, I filmed this video last week when my phone died, so I'm refilming it again. Last week I had the pleasure, actually it was 2 weeks ago, of getting a couple of new decks, so I wanted to show you them. I'm just going to kind of do a bit of a reveal. I might do a more thorough review later, but I have had the chance to work with them a little bit. The first is The Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. I've been waiting for this deck for a while to come out. I have pretty much all of her other decks except for I think it's Wisdom of the Hidden Realms is the only one I don't have, but I was really looking forward to this because I do love her decks. I'm using the Enchanted Map as my daily draw card this year, but I'm going to be using this one for 2016 as my daily draw card. So I have seen a few other people unbox this. This is a 52 card deck. It's a very thick box, as you can see. And it comes with a nice book that's quite thick for, you know, the standard sort of Hay House style deck. It's very thick. That's about how thick it is there. I really am enjoying the book because each card has not just, like it has the main meaning, but then it also has a relationship meaning, a prosperity meaning, and a protection meaning. So that's what it looks like in there. It's got the little black and white thumbnail, and then it's got each of those meanings. So if you pull the card upside down, it's got a protection meaning. Otherwise, if you pull it right side up, you can read the general meaning, or if you're looking for something that's more about prosperity or job, you go to prosperity. Looking for something more about relationship, you go to that. So I think this would be a really great deck for people who are just beginning to use oracle cards, but even for someone like me who's used them for a long time, I appreciate that. I think it's kind of a neat thing, kind of cool. So this book is quite thick and quite meaty, and I've been enjoying that. The box is nice and sturdy, as usual, the Hay House box. The deck, the cardstock's good as well. You know, kind of your typical Hay House. And then it's got the lovely gold gilded edges. This is what the back looks like. I like the red with the beautiful blues. This card has lovely, lovely colors in it. It's got almost like a pearlescence, jewel tone, not quite jewelly, but more pearly to it. Very, very beautiful, and it's very dreamlike and very soft. So I'm going to show you a couple of my favorites. One's very kind of almost steampunky. Truth be told, the beautiful owl with the windows opening up. And all the cards just feel very gentle, very loving, and they all have this face that's sort of hidden in them in the colors. I'm just trying to find a couple of more. Lots of owls in this deck too, which I really like. Let's find a couple of others that I quite like. I like them all, but this is beautiful. That one there. Or this one here with a house. Just gorgeous, lovely, soft sort of deck. Not a deck that's disturbing in any way, but it still gives you really relevant answers. Like I found whenever I just pulled a card for an answer, it always gave me something that I really needed to hear. So if you're looking for sort of a very, oops, so I dropped some, gentle day-to-day sort of deck, then I would say that this is definitely a deck to go for. Like I said, I've been working with it since I got it. Just doing, like I said, pulling a card here, pulling a card there. Really been enjoying. The first card I pulled was this one, which is love, the little fairy in the conch shells. It's so beautiful. It's got a very lunar feel to it. Lunar, dream time, very mystical, subconscious sort of feel to it. And the book, like I said, goes really well. You don't need the book to read it. I mean, there's the little, I don't know, keywords on the bottom, so I think if you're relatively intuitive, you can get what the meaning is. But I think the book just kind of adds a little more meat to it. So I was really, really impressed with this deck. And so if you're looking for something like that, like an oracle deck that's very gentle and loving, I would highly, highly suggest this deck. The other deck I got, I'm kind of on the fence with. So I'd seen this in the store and I was hemming and hawing over it, and I have seen some people, you know, rave about this deck. It's the Fallen Angel Oracle cards by Nigel Suckling, and it is a Seiko Books production. So it kind of opens like this. The box is very sturdy, but it's got that kind of one where you slide the cards in here, and not a huge fan of that. There are 78 cards in this deck, or is it 72? 72 cards, sorry, in this deck. Cardstock could be a bit better, that's for sure. Back is lovely, love the artwork. The book I wish was a little more meaty. It's kind of thin. It does give some spreads. Each card, there's a color thumbnail and then a meaning here. And what this is based on is there used to be a medieval lexicon of fallen angels, and they aren't what we contemporarily think of as demons. They're more like daemons in the Greek sense. They're like nature spirits, and in Christian mythology, these are angels that either fell in love with women or didn't want to bow down to man, or got caught up between the war between heaven and hell, so to speak. So some of them are a little more, you know, on the dangerous side, and then some are a lot more benevolent. So there's kind of a mix of them in here. So I'm, you know, like a little on the fence of them, because when I first got the deck and started looking through, I pulled some like really, you know, kind of positive, very gentle kind of cards. Like here we have Dantalion, who is empathy. Bareth is transformation. But then there's also ones that there's a few that are, let's say, danger on them, and then a few others that are like just deception, and there seems to be a lot of like negative sort of cards in here, which I'm a little, you know, like I got like a really negative reading once, which just didn't, and it didn't seem quite right either. Fricas, take advice, that's the first one I got. So that's a really positive one. So I'm kind of on the fence, because I understand that people do use this for shadow work, and I think it could be really good for that. Kind of seeing, you know, what you need to work on or what you may not recognize in yourself. But I was kind of curious if anyone else has worked with this deck and what they thought of it. I know I read somebody said that it scared them at first, but then they kind of got more comfortable with it. So I'm kind of wondering what other people think. You know, I'm kind of keeping an open mind and working with a bit. But like I said, at first was very positive, and then I got like just really negative stuff that just, like I said, didn't quite make sense, was very unsettling, so I kind of put it away. But I just wonder what other people think of this deck. So yeah, so those are two decks I got this week. I will do a little more, like I said, more work with them. I'll definitely, like I said, 2016, this is going to be my deck, so I'm going to be working with it a lot. This, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to work with it yet. I do tend to try to have seasonal decks I work with, and I'm not sure. Like, this seems like a really great dark time of year deck, but I'm curious to know what other people think. So anyway, I'll talk to you all next time. Bye!